What's up people, welcome to another Arcane afternoon. The Ursoth event is live for 2 weeks and it is also energy based. First let's have a look at the tier rewards. For bronze tier you get this banner, for silver tier you get this pestilence title and nothing else. This might be the first time that we get silver tier rewards and only get one item from it. For gold tier you get the pestilence pet and a bound Ursoth assault farmer's elixir. And for platinum tier you get another bound Ursoth farmer's elixir, a jewel chest, 10 bound elite awakening gems. Then you get another Elderwoods jewel chest. This might be the first time we get a Elderwoods jewel chest. Usually we only get this normal jewel chest, but it seems to be the same as the normal jewel chest. I'm not quite sure what the difference is between these two. And the last item that you get is this backpack and it looks really cool. You can see it's this sword through my chest with the green effect. This is a really cool backpack. It is also tradable and I'm sure it will be worth at least a few million gold. I think it would have been better if this item was a leaderboard reward or it dropped from the locked, because this item looks very OP and now it might be pretty common if everyone can get it for the platinum tier. But regardless, this is a pretty cool item. Now let's have a look at the leaderboard. There is only top 10 and top 25 leaderboard rewards. There's no top 50 rewards. In my opinion, there should be a top 50 leaderboard rewards because it is a 2 weeks event. Not having any top 50 rewards for a 2-week event is pretty bad. Anyways, now let's have a look at the top 25 rewards. First you get this green banner and it looks really cool. It kind of reminds me of my top 10 temple black hole banner. Here you can see the black hole banner. It's a top 10 temple reward, but it's not tradable and it looks pretty similar to this. I'm sure this banner will be worth a lot of gold. It looks really good. Next up you get this wisp and I'm not the biggest fan of this wisp. I don't think it will be worth much gold. Then you get 10 bound elite awakening gems and a flawless finesse jewel. And for top 10 you get the same top 25 banner and wisp, but you also get a top 10 badge, 50 elite awakening gems, a corrupted finesse jewel, a top 10 title, and you also get a vanity weapon set for top 10. Here you can see all of the weapons for the leaderboard rewards for all classes. The top 10 rewards are really good, the top 25 rewards are also pretty good, but I think there should be top 50 rewards as well. For a 2-week event, this is pretty lame that we only have top 25 rewards. This means there's literally only 75 different players who will be playing this event. For everyone else, it won't be worth to play this event because you can't really loot much. Anyways, let's have a look at the token vendor. First, we get another vanity locked crate, and in this locked crate you can loot the verdant vanity set, and this is how the vanity set looks like. I don't think this vanity looks that special, so I don't think many people will open this locked. Next up we have the normal locked crate, and in this locked we have the new blood amulets. For the proc of the blood amulet you have to kill enemies in rapid succession to summon the blood streak buff, which grants 50% health, 50% nature damage, 50% shadow damage and 50% cosmic damage for 30 seconds with a 60-second cooldown. The cooldown is very high, but the proc duration is also very high at 30 seconds. The 50% elemental set damage is super OP and it just buffs mages and warriors even more. Remember in my last video where I said that mages and warriors are so much more OP than rogues right now, especially with the elemental sets, and now they're buffing the elemental sets even more, basically buffing warriors and mages even more. But again, you need an elemental set to profit from this bonus. The elemental set is useless if you don't have an elemental set. There's also a second proc. It says unleash a charged attack from a Bloodstar weapon if the weapon proc is not on cooldown, to drop a blood crystal bomb and invoke the crystal overdrive buff, which grants 25% critical hit damage, 25% damage, 25% elite damage and 25% primary stat in PvE. And the blood crystal bomb shatters instantly when dropped and fires Bloodstar bolts in all directions. Enemies struck by Bloodstar bolts take significant damage. You can see the player charging the blood chakrams, and there is these blood crystal bombs. And you can see these blood crystal bombs deal about 100 to 200,000 damage, which does not seem to be a lot of damage. But the weapon proc seems to be really good because you get 25% critical hit damage, 25% damage, elite damage and primary stat. So the blood amulet proc is very OP, especially if you also have an elemental set, so you can benefit from the elemental damage. And with the Blood Amulet, you can now also have the 8 out of 8 Blood set bonus. With the 8 out of 8 Blood set bonus, you get another 5% critical hit damage, 5% damage, 5% ultimate charge rate, and increases Bloodstyle weapon elemental damage conversion from 35 to 45%. I'm not quite sure what this means, but probably it just means that you get 10% more elemental set damage. There is one new change for all Arcane daggers. You can see the icon symbol has changed. Before the update, it looked like this in the top left corner. The reason this happened is because next we will be getting the blood daggers, and they are currently working on the blood daggers. That's why they changed the icon for all of the Arcane daggers. The new blood daggers will come out within the next few events, and after that we will be getting the blood bow, and at the end of the year we will be getting the level 91 expansion. Now let's have a look at the rest of the token vendor. Here you can buy the heroic pestilence egg for 925 platinum. The happiness bonus and the passive ability are not good, but the arcane ability is pretty interesting. The pet can summon an aura that consumes pet happiness while active and deals large amounts of shadow damage to enemies within range. I don't exactly know what the consuming of the pet happiness means, but I'm not sure. I would have to test this egg to see how good it really is. Next up, you can buy the Ursoth Farmer's Elixir for 10 platinum. With this elixir you get 15% more event points, and you also get more event tokens. Last year you got 300% more tokens with the elixir. It probably is the same this year. But with this elixir you don't get better loot, so you don't need this elixir to loot the rare items. One of the items is this verdant stone, and with the stone you get 1% leech, and you only need level 1 to equip this stone. Also keep in mind this stone is not removable and not stackable. And the second item that you can loot from the bosses is the verdant wings, but these are already down to 900,000 gold within the first day of the event. This is how the wings look like. This means you cannot loot any expensive item from the event. The leech stone is only 2 million gold and it will drop even lower in price. You also have to farm energy to even be able to play the event map. This means this event is really not worth it to farm at all. You cannot loot anything, and in addition to not being able to loot anything, there's not even top 50 rewards. For a 2 weeks event, this is horrible. There's nothing to loot, there's no top 50 rewards. Basically only the top 25 of each class are playing this event. Everyone else cannot play this event. Let's get back to the token vendor. Here you can buy the verdant halo for 4,000 tokens. This halo looks horrible. And you can also buy a leaf currency chest, but there's nothing that you can loot in this chest probably. Yeah. Back in the day I think you were able to loot energy kits in these, but nowadays you cannot loot anything in here. There is nothing you can spend your event tokens on. The only decent thing you can buy is the halo, but I feel like this halo will be worth at best like 1 million gold. So not only is the event map horrible, but also the token vendor is pretty horrible. And for the event store you can buy the verdant aura only this weekend. And this is how the aura looks like. Alright, now let's quickly go into the event map and see how it looks like. But it is also the same map as the previous years. There's nothing new about it. You just clear the mobs, then you fight the boss. And you also don't get any gold from the boss as well. The event just keeps getting worse. And then after the boss you can use a Blood Grub's doll and fight the bigger boss, but as I already showed before, the bosses don't drop anything. The best thing you can loot is the leech stone right now, and on the first day already it's down to 2 million gold. Basically you cannot loot anything in this event. For the token vendor you basically cannot buy anything as well. You can only get the halo for 4,000 tokens, but the halo will be super cheap because it's super ugly. The only thing as a normal person that might be worth getting is platinum tier for the backpack, because this backpack is for sure the best thing you can get as a normal player in this event. This is for sure one of the worst events we've had this year. If you're not going for top 25, there's nothing you can do in this event, but at least you can still gold loot farm. We still have the gold loot farming. It did not get nerfed yet. Gold loot farming might get nerfed in the future, so as long as it's still OP, you should be farming as much as you can. And this is already it with the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.